guys, Lemmy here and welcome back to another art video. This week is a very special week because both videos are going to be centered around the evil stepsisters from the Cinderella, story. I guess you would know Cinderella from the Disney version, but the real story of Cinderella is a lot more creepy than you would think. Which actually goes for all of the Disney stories, really, but before I get too much into that, I wanted to say that this week is very special, also because it is a collaboration week. And this week I am working with the incredible, fantastic Zyra Banez, and I am so sorry if I said your name wrong. If you know Lemmy, Lemmy don't English good sometimes. Sorry. So Zyra is an incredible YouTuber that mostly does fashion designs with her artwork. So if you were interested in how to do art like that, I would definitely suggest checking out her channel. What I really like about her videos is that she talks a lot about rendering fabric and fabric choices, which has a lot to do with fashion, and if you were actually going to take a picture and make it into an actual outfit. But also, it's interesting how she talks about creating the texture and the look of the fabric and putting that onto the paper. So let's say, you have a satin outfit at home and you want to know, well, how can I put this down and translate this onto paper? Zyra's videos are really good for that because she talks about the steps that she takes in order to take a sort of fabric and put it down on the paper and make it look good. So all those things Lemmy doesn't know about, like velvet and brocade and all these words I learned through Zyra's videos, she talks a lot about that in her own videos. So I just think it's really interesting. So also I wanted to mention that we settled on the idea from Cinderella, but I was inspired to do a Disney picture with her because she has a lot of really cool videos where she designs outfits, like very fashionable, stylish outfits for Disney characters, and it's really cool. So I was kind of like, I want to do a Disney thing with you, but I don't really know what I want to do or what we should do, but I wanted to do sister pictures where we would do 2 pictures. So I suggested either the stepsisters, and then I think maybe Zyra suggested Hansel and Gretel or something. And then there was something about Red Riding Hood, but we couldn't figure out how to draw the wolf because it would just look like a boy with a dead wolf on his body. So we decided, hey, let's go with the Cinderella stepsisters. And we wanted to kind of go for a creepier version of them, where if you know anything about the original stories, the stepsisters end up being advised to chop off their feet or their toes by the stepmother so that they can get their feet into the slipper. And I was just like, oh my god, that's disgusting. We have to do this now. And so then we started our trek. Now, we each started to draw a different stepsister from each other, and then we simply switched and colored each other's picture. So we both had a hand in both stepsisters. So I started out with, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Anastasia. That's how I say it. I don't know. She's the pink one with the red hair in the Disney movies. So I kind of wanted to keep with the way I've seen her in the Disney movies because that's kind of my go-to image in my head because, growing up, if that's what the character looks like, that's what the character looks like. But I also kind of wanted to tweak and change a little bit about her because I want it to be a little bit creepier. So I ended up kind of making her eyebrows really high up and her nose a little bit bigger than in the movie maybe, and kind of emphasizing the wrinkles on her face and giving her kind of a sneer almost. And I wanted to make her thin, but also I wanted her to look thin, but also kind of bony. That's why her arms are really long and skinny. And if you'll notice, I also wanted to incorporate the fact that she has big feet, but I also wanted to put her in a slipper. So after, like, mentioning to Zyra, like, hey, I want to have my stepsister in a slipper also, because at first we had the same idea, let's put the sisters into the shoe and have them fit into it, but it's all bloody and nasty. But then I was like, well, they can't be wearing the same shoes, so we each took a different shoe to draw the glass slipper on that foot or whatever. And yeah, so I wanted to make sure that the foot that I picked was different than the foot that she picked. And yeah, so one of the feet is large and is one of her shoes, and then the other foot is smaller, and that's the Cinderella slipper. I also wanted to add a little bit more to mine, because in Zyra's picture there was a picture of the cat. I don't know what the cat's name is. If you know what the cat's name is, let me know in the bottom, because now I feel like I want to Google it. But she added the cat, and I was like, well, I should probably add a little bit more to mine to make it more interesting. So I kind of added the ripped up dress that the sisters ended up pulling off of Cinderella that she made herself. So I wanted to kind of throw that in to give a little bit more interest to the picture. And yeah, you'll see that she has a little knife in her hands because she just did operation on her foot. And now I'm just imagining that little game that I played when I was a kid, and it makes that buzzing noise. Operation. Anyway, yeah, so that was kind of my idea behind this. And I like how it came out. Now, for the background in Zyra's picture, there was kind of some swoopy and, I want to say swoopy lines, but they were more like strings, and they hung down from the ceiling. And I wanted to incorporate those swoopy kind of shapes in my own, without actually, you know, making the backgrounds the same. So I kind of put some swooping curtains in the background. And yeah, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is my picture of Anastasia, and we traded our line arts, and we actually had to print them out, which is not my favorite thing to do, but that's what we had to do, because Zyra's from far away, in Australia or something. So, shipping is expensive, you guys. I'm heartbroken, though. Yeah, because I mentioned this in my last collaboration video, but every time I print something out, it doesn't look nearly as nice as it was on the computer. But I still really like how the picture came out of Drizella, which is the other sister, that you are going to get on Friday. So tune in for Friday to see what happens with the collaborations. And I will give you a link to Zyra's channel, and also a link to Zyra's video where she is drawing and inking Drizella. And be sure to check in Friday, because I will be coloring Drizella, and also I will put links to the colored version of Anastasia, which I have drawn today for you. So, be sure to tune in, and I'll talk to you guys really soon. Okay, bye!